Hey everyone, Ginger here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm super excited for today's book review because I will be talking about The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. It was highly anticipated. I just got mine today. It's pretty much accessible anywhere. You can check online, Amazon, Target, Barnes & Noble. I got mine from my local bookstore, so I recommend checking your local listing. But my copy was like $15, so you can get it there. I'm super excited. As you know, Amanda Gorman is the youngest poet laureate to perform at an inauguration, and she performed at the inauguration of President Biden and Vice President Harris. So if you have not seen her performance, I just recommend that you drop everything you're doing and watch it right now, because it was a remarkable experience watching her perform her poetry. So I was just waiting for the book to come out. I'm just going to discuss my favorite aspects of the book today. I do want to start with the title. I think the beautiful thing about poetry is that there is no particular right or wrong way to interpret a title. And so I think that there are a lot of different analysis or perspectives, but I just wanted to share sort of what I gathered. So The Hill We Climb, she was performing at the inauguration, and it really speaks to the amount of challenges that our country has faced and all of the obstacles we've overcome, and basically the tragedy that we've seen this year alone. So The Hill We Climb, what I appreciate about it is that it acknowledges that, but it also focuses on hope, instilling confidence, moving forward, a future after everything that we've been through. So I think that's the special thing about her work. But I'm just going to point out some of my favorite parts. So I'm going to page 23. So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? So, I think this is really powerful because first it ends on a rhetorical question. It's really throwing it back at the reader, and it made me think and it made me reflect a lot. And I thought about the extreme obstacles that our country has battled, but I think, I also thought about the portrayal of the United States as a country that is known for coming out on the other side and bouncing back after trauma. And so I really think these lines, reflect back on our country and sort of the unifying effort of coming together after a really, terrible and tough era. And I just love how it ends. A question. And so another part that I would like to point out. Okay, page 21. So this, I think these lines are short but simple. In this truth, in this faith, we trust. For a while, we have our eyes on the future. History has its eyes on us. So I really like those lines because first, it made me think about, wow, we are going through an historical time period. We are living through an historical time period. And it makes you think, what will be said? What will be written? How will this time in history be presented maybe a century from now, over 100 years? What will we be looking back and saying, remembering about what we are experiencing right now? And so I really like how she sort of alludes to that. Yes, we are living through history, but we also have, the opportunity to forge our own path here. So what are we going to do? History's watching. I really like that. And I like how she sort of ends it. So I'm just going to read that part, page 28. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and delusive, will emerge, battered but beautiful. This is towards the ending, and I think it also sort of ties back into President Biden's and Vice President Harris's campaign slogan, Build Back Better. So I think it ties back into reality, but I think it also ties on the notion of overcoming issues, overcoming problems, and still being able to collectively work together to help one another. And I think that's a really neat line to end on, to sort of promote this aspect of unity after destruction. So I think that's really unique. Overall, I can name like so many, I can name like every line that I picked out and that I like, and so I did make a lot of notes. But one last thing I will say is that, through her poetry, she portrays the United States very realistically. She, I think, instills patriotism in her work while also acknowledging our flaws and while also not forgetting our history and where we came from, and the horrible events that occurred in American history, but while also celebrating our country in a realistic way. So I really appreciate that. She acknowledges what we've been through, but also builds a pathway to a better future. So this is one of my favorites. Highly recommend. Thank you for sticking with me and watching this video. See you next time.